Clan Wars at Town Hall 9 is some of the most competitive in the whole of Clash because people don't trophy push, they war instead whilst they upgrade their bases. Let's take a look at the top 10 tips from a great Town Hall 9 war clan.
Prepare for Clan Wars.
Hi guys, Spencer and $3 here. Welcome to today's video on the top 10 tips of how to run a successful Town Hall 9 war clan. So I'm here in LP3 Chiron. They are already clan level 5, halfway to clan level 6, and you've seen their war record. They are doing pretty well. So I've asked around and got their top 10 tips on how to run the best Town Hall 9 war clan. Now the tip number 1 was certainly to balance your clan. You don't want too many Town Hall 10s, you need a few for donations, but more than 3 or 4 and you might mismatch to a clan which is way above you and you stand absolutely no chance of winning regardless of how good you are. So keep an eye on that, try and balance your clan nicely, and you should be matching with clans who are at least a similar level to you. And the tip number 2 was definitely to use some kind of base calling system. You can do it in your chat apps, or you can use an online or a special app. Clash Caller is one that they use, but there are many others, and it means everybody can select the base they want to attack. So Sujesh here was able to select this base in advance, make the correct troops, and he didn't turn up to attack it and find out it had already been taken. So if you can organize your clan like that, you will be much more successful and be able to use the exact troops needed to beat every single base. And the first attack we're going to see today by Sujesh is the Hog attack. Now, critical to the Hog attack, of course, is to kill the clan troops and the queen before you send your main hogs. If you fail to do that, you will also suffer an epic fail. So this is a standard lure. He's going to use a 2-2-3 with the witches and the wizards. Got his queen out. I think he adds another couple of wizards just to make sure he gets rid of these. So while Sujesh does that, we can go on to tip number 3. Tip number 3 is clear war rules. You need to make sure that everybody in the clan knows what the rules are, whatever they may be. Some clans like it if you only attack 5 above or 5 below. Some like it if you select bases for the first 12 hours and after that it's a free-for-all. But whatever you choose to do, make sure the whole clan can see it. Maybe put it in your chat app or wherever you put the rules and direct everybody there so that there's no misunderstanding and you stand a way better chance of winning the war. Now Sujesh has now got to the stage where he can send in all of his hogs. He has lost a lot of them to flippers and to the big bombs, but because of the very careful placement of his heal spells, the hogs he does have left, he manages to use to his best ability to take down these defenses. There is not many hogs there at all. I think he's lost probably 3/4 of them, but they've stayed under this heal spell for the longest possible time, and they're taking down these defenses. Once these defenses are gone, this base stands absolutely no chance. Cannon going down, just a couple of hogs, another flipper, and they're getting down to the last archer tower. One more cannon left. They don't quite get this cannon, but that really isn't a problem. He's still got witches and the queen and a bunch of archers, and unfortunately this base is going down. You could call this a failed base, maybe it's not been beaten before, but if you use a base design album you can remove the ones which are losing. And the other advantage is if you have somebody in the clan, you notice they don't have a good war base, they might not have time to make a new one, especially if they're new. They might not even like building war bases. You can direct them to your album wherever you keep it and they can pick a war base in time for your clan war, because it only takes a few guys to let you down. This, for example, is a terrible war base, unfortunately. Maxat has picked what is essentially a trophy base and he is going to get 3-starred. If he could have picked out a war base from an album, he would certainly have been told to pick something a little bit different to this. And tip number 5, use a practice clan. So if you want to do an attack a little bit like this one was a little bit interesting, which is Valks and Hogs, you might not want to ruin your own clan's record by practicing that in your clan. So you can build an external clan where you can practice war attacks, ones which may not lose, but it doesn't matter so much if you do lose. You're not too bothered about the war record in your practice clan. I would advise you don't leave people in there too long. People in the home clan are going to need their donations, and it can get pretty awkward if people are bouncing around here, there and everywhere. Just send them there to do their war attack and then come straight back after they've either succeeded or failed. Now this is a Valk attack. You guys have been watching my videos recently, you will know I am quite impressed with the Valks recently. They are great for the clan troops and for getting rid of the royals, and both of those things you need to get rid of to have a successful hog attack. Those Valks have wiped out the clan troops apart from the minions. You do need to follow in with a wizard just in case there are minions. Perhaps 2 or 3 wizards should do the trick, and then once they're all gone you can send in the hogs. There is nothing now to stop these hogs from annihilating this base. Even if this had been a slightly better base, once the royals are gone there is no real space in here for any big bombs. There is nothing to stop these hogs. There isn't a large quantity of hogs. He needed the space for these Valks, but these Valks are still alive. They're still in there taking down these defenses. That's a pretty good attack. I'm quite impressed with that one. I'd like to see that one on a tougher anti-3-star base, see how that performs. But well done, Wild Kenzel. That is a pretty interesting attack. I'm sure he's practiced that in a trophy raid at some point or in the practice clan. You don't want to be pulling out a bunch of weird troops and failing in front of your entire clan and wondering what went wrong. Now you guys might want to watch as many replays as possible. This was tip number 6. The more you watch, the more you're going to learn from the enemy clan and from your own clan. Doesn't matter if it's a different style of raid to you, just watch as many as you can. You should plan these raids with your clan. This was tip number 7. This seemed to be the most important tip. They talk about their raids all the time. Your clanmates may notice something that you didn't notice. They may spot some problem that you hadn't seen. The more people you discuss your raid with, the more likely you are to succeed. Now these guys, let's face it, they're no Picasso, but they know what they mean with these scribblings on these images. It does make it a lot easier if you can draw on a picture than trying to describe what you're going to do. They send pictures backwards and forwards all the time and describe what they're about to do in their 3-star attempt. Tip number 8, do a trophy raid first. I would definitely agree with this one. If you've been, for example, farming all day or using a different troop combination, the last thing you want to do is be half a second slow looking for your troops or thinking you're doing a different style of raid, maybe using the wrong spell somewhere. If you use this troop mix in a trophy raid first, you will be much quicker. Doesn't matter that the base style is completely different, and you have a much better chance of success. This is a pretty popular Town Hall 9 war attack, the hybrid air attack. So again, very similar to the hogs, we need to get in and get rid of the queen and the clan troops, but also in this attack we need to get rid of at least one of these air defenses. So our friend here, Dane, trademark, has managed to jump over this wall. He's heading now towards this queen and these clan troops. He's managed to take all of those down pretty easily, and he's aiming for his queen to be on this air defense on the right hand side. Now if you watch closely, this queen does get away with this a little bit. She does of course get the first air defense, but as she steps forward to take down this elixir storage, she's now being targeted by this cannon and she gets very close to death. Now it is still possible to win this raid with one of these air defenses at the bottom still remaining, but she does just step away just in time, and that gives a chance to take down both a wizard tower and another air defense. So if you guys are discussing these raids and watching the replays, you'll notice that, and when you come up against a base which is identical to this, and you will, I'll show you in a minute, then you will be able to modify it just slightly, just so you don't quite risk your queen and make it quite as close as it was for Dane in those few moments. But the queen, she's still alive. This is now game over. In comes the loons and the hounds onto the top air defense. That is about to go down. There is no chance for this base now. But as you're watching these raids in your clan, tip number 9 was to give feedback, take it graciously as well. Don't be furious if somebody gives you some kind of advice. All of it will help you one way or another, and give other people advice on how you think they might be able to improve their raids. Now this particular base, it turns out the other team had used this multiple times, and because they were watching the replays, Chiron members, they were able to copy that attack and beat about 5 or 6 other bases in exactly that same way. And tip number 10, this is my favourite, the sportsmanship. I think you should always play these clan wars as clean and sportsmanlike as you possibly can. Once you've finished, drop a guy over to the enemy clan, thank them for a good war, and just remember, any of their members who are ever thinking about leaving in the future, they will remember you. I hope this helps you guys with your Town Hall 9 war clans. Let me know in the comments if you have any extra tips we could add to this list. Please do like, comment and subscribe, and share these videos with your friends. I'll see you guys tomorrow. You take care. Send everyone!